one question out of metal. Are you Greek? Do you have Greek family?
Yeah, I was born in Greece. I lived there until I was 19, and then I moved to England, and then a few years later I moved to Germany, stayed there for a long time, for like 10 years or something, and then moved to LA, and now I'm in San Francisco. So yeah, I've been all over the place.
world.
But yeah, I grew up in Greece, like, so from 0 to 19 was Greece. Yeah.
Okay, so you are, because we always in South America identify with Greek people about football, passion, live concert, crowd.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a great era of. I mean, I don't really know how things are now in Greece, but when I was growing up, being a metalhead and being there was just amazing. I don't know, like it was such the spirit of heavy metal in Greece was an amazing thing. And it's I mean, I've never been to South America, but from what I've seen from like Maiden concerts and that, we're very similar. I mean, that's what's going on in like Greek Maiden shows, you know, like, yeah, we're pretty crazy when we go, but it's a good type of crazy, you know what I mean?
Exactly. We are like a football. It's metal for us. It's like football. It's passion. It lives all of our lives. Well, to begin with, I have a question and something to tell you. I didn't know about Nite until we every Friday we make a video about the releases on YouTube, and it was Nite, one of the releases. And for me, I didn't knew the band, and everybody here in South America was talking about Nite. Hey, go and listen the previous album that is excellent too. And so I want to tell you, South America's talking about Nite. So and I went to the previous album. I like it very much. And what about the band, the repercussion you have with this album? How do you take it?
It's still very early for us. I mean, the album is not only for a couple of weeks, so we don't really have a sense of how this album is going, other than the fact that we saw that we got on the Billboard charts here, which is crazy. Like, we were like something like number 34 on the heavy music charts, which I don't know. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. But I know that I've never seen that happen with one of my bands before. So yeah, we're really happy. We did get a lot of messages from South America, like from different countries, for the first one, and we did know that, you know, we touched like a vein there, but that comes to no surprise, because as I said, like, I think, you know, where I come from and where you guys come from, I think we're connected in some way. Like, what I call like good heavy metal is what I think what many people in like South America call good heavy metal. And I don't know, like, for me, like, we made this band to honor that music, like to play exactly the heavy metal that we like, even though it's not mainstream or anything, or it's not like very popular right now, but yeah, we don't really care about that, so we just care about playing what we like playing. So yeah, to me, like, all these bands that I grew up in, from, of course, like the giants like Maiden and Metallica and Megadeth and all that, but like also like other like bands like you know, Gamma Ray and Halloween and Savatage and Raids and you know, all these like more underground like European bands, which I think have a huge following in South America too. So this is there, you know, like this type of metal is there. And when I moved to the US in 2015, and I mean, it's really nice here, and I love it and everything, but there is a disconnect. Like, people, like, what metal is here is something very different than what it is in Europe, and what it is in South America, and what it is in other parts of the world. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of hardcore and a lot of alternative music mixed to the metal here, which is something that I don't have a problem with, but that's not the kind of metal that I listen to. So
exactly. Just I put a tweet today because Megadeth couldn't come to Rock in Rio on next September, and instead is going on tour with Five Finger Death Punch. And I was
right.
joking between the guys here in South America and other friends. Five Finger Punch here in South America and it is not a big band, but Megadeth is like a religion. But we know
Yeah, exactly.
about it. It's about money. It's about industry. So it's a, like you said, a parallel metal world in the north from here in
Yeah.
South America that we still have the flag of traditional heavy metal and all the things that you talk. It's like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But well,
yeah, but I don't really know, to be honest with you. I haven't really, I mean, I live here for 7 years now. I don't really know where these things are coming from, but I have a feeling like, I don't know if you know of WWE. Have you ever heard of the WWF? In the past, this like a wrestling show, right? So
yeah,
some of these of these huge tours have this approach to it. Like they have to like America, like USA is a very big country. Like in order to put a tour like that and like go from one end to the other, like the expenses are just unreal. Like it's like maiden level of
yeah.
of expenses, having a crew and paying for everybody. It's just crazy. So I have a feeling that like these huge productions are like also organized by people who do other things than heavy metal. You know what I mean? Like they're very hard to put together. So I understand that that also might play some role. While bands in Europe, like Halloween and Gamma Ray and all these like amazing bands from like Germany and all that it's a little bit easier to put a band and like manage it and being able to go play Hanover and Stuttgart and then
Yeah,
Milan. It's like these cities are not that far away, like
right, right.
so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, Juan.
Okay, Van. Yeah. Van, about the music, what difference can you find between first and second Nite album? They slowed it down, but I chose a bland.
So what we tried doing with, I think, with the second album was to move away a little bit of our black metal, like dark, like like underground black metal roots, and we didn't want to do the same thing again. So I mean, that's that place where we all love being. Like we love writing about dark subjects and esoteric and occult subjects and stuff, but we didn't want to do the same thing again. We felt a little bit stale because the first album was very horror oriented and so we all love like science fiction, and we all love sci-fi movies and comic books, but like European comic books and like underground comic books and all that. And we started working on this idea. I mean, it didn't happen like we say, okay, we're gonna do that, and that happens. Just with different things, and we all love these songs and this like world that started building up. So we wanted to do exactly kind of the same thing we did for the first album, which is write these like mythological topics and write songs about. But we wanted to just let go of everything, like not care about like fitting into the metal. And we were kind of worried, to be honest with you, with the cover and with the songs and like the science fiction stuff and all that. We were kind of worried that it's not going to go well with heavy metal fans and stuff. But I think it's quite the opposite. Like from what we've seen, like everybody loves the artwork. Everybody loves the. I mean, I haven't heard a bad word from anyone about us taking it there, you know, taking into this like science fiction weird planet situation with these characters that we made. So yeah, for me, I'm not gonna hide it, you know, like Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, Seven Sun are up on my wall over there. Like they're my favorite albums of all time, you know.
Okay, Van.
To me,
Hit.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I hear.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't need to say anything else.
Juan,
Yeah,
show,
for me,
show yours.
I don't have tattoos, but I can show you the
Okay.
the albums up there. I don't know if you see them. They're up there. Yeah.
We all grew up with the gods.
Exactly. Yeah.
What?
For me.
One more.
For me, that
one more one. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Tell me.
Yeah, for me, like these three albums are the reason why I play guitar. The reason why I like heavy metal music that much, and that feeling, like when I know that Seven Sun is not like for some people it's not a good Maiden album. And for me, it's like, I don't know, like it's like my whole childhood, you know, like
the other day, Seven Sun was the birthday of the
34.
Seven Sun, and it's one of my top 3 Maiden albums. It depends how I wake up in the morning, and it's such an amazing. But
yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that I agree with you.
Yeah, for me, like I had I don't know if you've seen this like video tape, the Made in England video tape. You know, there was a video tape of a show from that tour anyway. And I don't know, I've seen that tape. I was like watching that tape like every day for for like many years. You know, like so the only thing I had that I could see the guys play music. Anyway, so for me, that feeling of like going to this like weird world that they built with Seven Sun, like is, I don't know, it's like one of the most metal things that I have experienced. So that's what we were going for. We wanted to make this world where people can go and like, you know, escape in the music and try to think about these subjects that we're talking about, but in this like mythological science fiction place, you know, instead of real.
I was going to ask something you already respond, because I have 43 years, so I grew up with Maiden, with Judas, with Sabbath, with the records of my older brother, and when I listen to Nite, my trained ear gets things and that I love. So I was gonna ask where that switch of painting it black, making it darker, all the metal that we love. It's like you put it on a funeral band, on a funeral, how do you say it, car, but that it's glorious and that's and unique, and that's what I like of Nite.
Thank you. That's I mean, that is exactly what we're trying to do. I mean, it's not that we're exactly you know, copying exactly what we did. It's just that it comes natural because we listen to that music still. We listen to all that music. Like, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit stubborn with that. You know, like I like newer bands, but there are very few things that I listen to from bands nowadays. So that whole thing. That whole thing is the key why the band exists, because like I always wanted to play that music, but I didn't want to play in a cover band. Like I mean, it's just not for me. I don't want to play covers. Like I love playing the songs by myself. I love playing all these Maiden songs, you know, by myself, but or the Megadeth songs and learning the solos and everything. But I want to make original music, and I didn't want to be in a band with which was like exactly the same thing. Like I didn't want to find like a clean singer and do exactly the same thing. It doesn't make sense for me to be in 2022. And I think, I mean, I'm judging from me, but I think all of us have listened to so much extreme vocals. Like, back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, there were only a few bands like, Venom and like, Sodom and Creator and whatever. But then like bands like Entombed and all the Scandinavian guys, like I have listened to a lot of music with extreme vocals on it. So going back to the age of Bruce and of Dio and of Kiske and all that stuff, I don't know. I couldn't see it being a new thing. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I'm sure that you've heard of a band from Sweden called Tribulation. Have you heard of them? Tribulation?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so it was when I was listening to their album Children of the Night that I was like, yeah, why are we not doing that? You know what I mean? Why are we not like playing like, because to me they sounded back then like Killers era Maiden with black metal vocals. And I loved it. But for me, my personal era is, as I said, Power Slave to Seven Sun, and also Fear of the Dark was also great for me. But and No Prayer, I mean, all that stuff. But these three albums are, also every Maiden album is fantastic. Like I'm not gonna, but I'm saying that like these like three albums were my favorite. So I thought, what if I tried to sing like a black metal voice over and writing songs like the metal I like, and that's how it all happened, But I give credit to them because they were the ones that made me think outside the box, because they coupled black metal voice with a more gothic sound, which wasn't really common. Like a lower gain guitars, with not so much distortion. So yeah.
Great, and the result is fantastic. Juan, next question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Two questions, Van. Talking about your voice, how work your voice? What's your techniques for your rotten voice?
Yeah. I mean, I've been working on it for the last 5 years or so. It kind of changes. So the first album, I was using more of a false chord technique, but because I was so inexperienced back then, I started singing, as I said, 5 years ago. So I just in the first album there's a lot more distortion there. Like I just added distortion to the voice. So, and it's also pushed back. And then because we played all the shows now, and I have a lot more experience. Like in the second album, I tried doing this like fry vocal thing that I did two voices, and I panned left and right, and I tried to make this weird sound. But nowadays, because this album, to be honest with you, is a little bit old. I mean, we did finish it 1 year ago. So right now, where I am is that I am back to that false chord, but because I've played all the shows and I've seen what works and what doesn't. I'm very happy where it is, but it's a little bit louder and a little bit different than the voice I did on the album. The voice I did on the album, it is cool for the album. It's cool for you to listen at home. But right now, I think that the false chord kind of closer to what LG Petrov was doing in Entombed, like, but also a more black metal approach, like Carpathian Forest, like something in between anyway. But it is a technique that I'm not just screaming, because I can't go and play a tour for 2 weeks and scream every night and spit blood. Like, it's not gonna work. I'm just gonna come home a couple of days later. So it is I do warm up a lot. I do practice every day, and yeah, I scream a lot, but in a very controlled manner, like yeah.
That's great. That's great. And the song called Cronian Moon is a hit for you. I can't stop listen this song.
Oh wow! Thank you. Yeah,
Every day.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like my favorite song changes. So right now I like Edge of the Night and Trident more. It used to be Acheron, the first song on the album, but it changes. It also has to do with how many times we have played the song live and stuff. And sometimes I get I get sick of playing the same songs over and over again. But yeah, I mean, we played this song in like in the studio, you know, hundreds of times already. You know, so.
When you say in the song "Fire Be My Guide," it's amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad. Amazing.
Van, I don't know where I heard it, but something you say for an artist. Let me know your opinion. When the album is done, it's already old. So what you made, the band made two records in 2 years. What's next? You have new music, are new songs prepared. We already know you're touring next week, but are you in full working in music? Are you a music machine, something like that?
I'm just saying, we try our best. Yeah, we never stop writing songs. Yeah, I mean, right now we are already a year, a little bit less than a year. I don't know, like 6 months, 8 months into working on the third album. But we have an idea right now where we wanted to go. I mean, we do have like 15 songs already. But, I don't know if it's gonna be like, we're really happy with 3 of them. You know what I mean? So we do write a lot, and we write a lot of junk. To be honest with you, like we write songs. We think that this is the best song ever, but it's not the best song ever. You know, like after a while. But that is a good test, you know, because I mean, let's say these 8 songs on the second album and the 8 songs on the first album. You know, we are playing these songs now for 4 years and 2 years. We're already 2 years into, you know, we wrote like Acheron like back in 2020 or something, you know. So we need to really like the songs we put on an album, because we're gonna be not stuck, but they're gonna be with us like forever. So we really want to make sure that we absolutely love them.
Let me tell you, Van, that the 2 records, I can't remember now the first one, but the second one is 37 minutes long, no?
Minutes.
Okay, yeah. It's like
the first is 40.
Yeah, but it's short, but in the good sense. You can start it and finish it, and it's one and another, and blah. It's really cool.
That is good. I mean, that was something that.
No, tell me.
No,
sorry.
You can't get tired. It's the way up, and for the start to the end. That's as a listener, I tell you.
Yeah, that is great. I mean, that's what we were going for. Like, to be honest with you, the number one thing we wanted was to do one vinyl. I don't know, maybe it may sound stupid, but I mean, in the first album, we loved everything we did and stuff, but 2 things that we didn't like is that we had to split all the songs in 2 different vinyls. So you would listen 2 songs and then flip the vinyl for another 2 songs, and change the vinyl, other songs. So I mean, we were really happy with what we did, but we didn't really see that coming with the vinyl, and it was kind of annoying that we had to do that. So we really wanted to do the 4 songs per side, like all our favorite album, like most of our favorite albums. And so that was that. And also, like, when we were writing the first album, we hadn't really played live that many times, so we were kind of stuck with like 8, 6, and 7 minute songs, and they don't all work live. So a 7-minute song live is tough, you know, like to keep everybody engaged. It has to be a great song. So we wanted to mix it up and have like more shorter songs, like trim all the fat, you know. And if you want to listen to more, just play the album again. But we wanted to make it like short and sweet, kind of.
No, the last one for me, Van. Nite's music caught a lot of people around the world, and led the band to sign with Season of Mist. which is a popular label in metal. How do you take this responsibility?
For us, I mean, to be honest with you, Season of Mist was always a label that we were trying to approach. Like, we did talk to them for the first album, but it was too early. Like, all these like bigger labels don't really have time for beginner bands, like for like bands that start from zero. And I think we proved our point that we can play some good heavy metal, you know, and and we can stick it together, because, you know, being a band is tough. Like, we all have to work day jobs, and, you know, we all have families and stuff. But keeping it together is tough. Like, I see so many bands here in the Bay Area that you know, life happens. You know, something happens. Like, someone has to move away for work. Somebody has a kid, and they don't want to play metal anymore. You know. So I think proving that we can stick with it and we can stay focused was key. And yeah, for us, it's been a long time coming. For me, it's like the perfect place for us to grow, like get from where we are to a place where we can have bigger shows. Basically, that's what we want. We want to be able to do more albums, and we want to be able to, like, you know, do bigger tours and come to South America and go to Europe. Like, all these things cost a lot of money, you know. We don't really expect to make money out of doing this, but we wanna play the shows. You know what I mean? That's why we do this. So they're amazing, and they are a real metal label. You know what I mean? They do this because they like heavy metal, like us. They don't do this because they wanna sell the company to Sony Music or something. You know what I mean? They do this because they like metal, and it shows. It shows with what bands they have in the roster and what people work at that place, and they're all like super experienced. And yeah, I mean, we're so happy with that.